Sandali here, and tonight I'm gonna break down for you the NFC West 2015 training camp and season predictions. This division I find very interesting because so much happened in the offseason, some good, some bad. I know for the Seahawks, they finally got what they needed, and that was the number one option in the passing game. Look, other people keep saying Russell Wilson is overrated. He's a product of his running game and defense. You need a good running game and a good defense. I mean, it's called you win as a team and you lose as a team. It's a team sport. When I look at the Seahawks receiving core, none of those guys are athletic enough, or fast enough, or strong enough to, in my opinion, to really pose a threat in the passing game, and they needed a threat in the passing game. And I know Jimmy Graham says he's working on his blocking. I am pretty darn sure that the Seattle Seahawks did not give up what they gave up to get Jimmy Graham for his blocking. I know he's going to be required to block a little bit better to help in the running game, but I think in the passing game, he's going to be the number one guy. They could use him at the goal line. Sorry, Seahawks fans. They should have ran it in, but when I look at that replay over and over again, Malcolm Butler made a great play. And I said Malcolm Butler because his first name keeps coming and going. But he made a great play on the ball. It was probably not a good throw by Russell Wilson. They tried to catch the Patriots off guard. Everybody was expecting Marshawn Lynch. I was expecting Marshawn Lynch. I think they could have done the read option, to be quite honest. Russell's so athletic. He's so quick. He's very smart too. He's not gonna just. You got the Super Bowl on the line. I don't understand. I didn't understand the Seahawks' logic to calling a pass play when you've got a very athletic quarterback who's clearly a dynamite runner, and his read option ability it poses a whole new threat. I mean, it makes the defense go, oh, you have to be honest with it. You have to it keeps the defense honest. It keeps the defense thinking, well, what if Russell takes off? Now he's got Jimmy Graham. So now you don't know what he's going to do. He could toss it to the big guy and Graham, or he could toss it to Marshawn Lynch, or he's going to hand it off to Marshawn Lynch a bunch of times this year. Their defense is severely banged up. The Legion of Boom is not quite healthy yet. I don't think he'll be 100% healthy for maybe a couple of weeks into the season. Earl Thomas coming off a torn shoulder muscle that he suffered in the NFC Championship game. He played the rest of that game and the Super Bowl with it. I gotta tell you, I was pretty impressed with that. It showed a lot of toughness. Richard Sherman played hurt. He didn't have shoulder surgery. Do I think it'll bother him this year? I think not having shoulder surgery, that was quite interesting. If it's 100% healed and he can lift that shoulder to tip the ball, he's not throwing the ball. I know he's not throwing the ball, but you gotta lift your arms up to catch it, to tip it, how much movement does he have in that shoulder? So there's question marks about their defense. The most intriguing team in this division has got to be the St. Louis Rams. I know people are going to say Nick Foles benefited from Chip Kelly's system. I actually think Nick Foles is a legitimate franchise quarterback. He's a good quarterback. I think the biggest problem for the Rams is their offensive line and who's their number one receiver. And I do have question marks about the running back situation. I thought they wasted a pick. I really did. I think Trey Mason's a star in the making. I don't understand them taking Gurley at all. And Gurley's had durability issues. I mean, just this last year, he's coming off a torn ACL. I didn't like the pick. I thought they should have thought about a wide receiver, maybe a Devontae Parker. But they didn't do it. They didn't go wide receiver. Their defense is really, really good. They got one of the top 5 defensive. They're one of the 5 best defensive teams in the league. Maybe they're top 10 at least. Jeff Fisher's going to be on the hot seat. He's got to get this team to the playoffs. He's had. I mean, he got a boatload of players for RG3, and he's not done much with. He's not done much with it. And so now the pressure's on him to do it, to get it done, and get them to the playoffs. I think they'll make it to the playoffs. I think when I look at this division, I think it's between the Seahawks and the Rams. The Cardinals, with Carson Palmer coming off a torn ACL, being at 36 years old, Bruce Arians is going to have to pull a rabbit out of the hat to solve their quarterback situation, because I just don't know if Carson's going to last very long, And then they lost Todd Bowles, who I think will do very well as a New York Jets head coach. He was their defensive coordinator. So they lost a lot. I mean, they had a good season last year. The disaster off season, a team that's had major turnovers, the San Francisco 49ers. I'll just go ahead and cut to the chase with the Niners. I think it's gonna be them or the Browns. One of those two teams is gonna have the top pick in the 2016 NFL draft. You cannot lose as much as they did and lose a great coach like Harbaugh and look people dead in the eye and say you're going to contend. And Tom Sula is an offensive line coach, and he has no head coaching experience. I mean, this team is dead in the water before the season begins. Colin Kaepernick Kaepernick would be considered an elite quarterback if he willed them to 8 wins. I'm being serious. If Colin Kaepernick, if you got 8 wins out of the San Francisco 49ers team, heck, if you got 3 out of the San Francisco 49ers team, you'd have to consider Colin Kaepernick as an elite quarterback. That is just no. I mean, if there was a team that had, I've never seen a team have an off season like the 49ers. I've never seen that, and I feel bad for the fans. But they had a good couple of years. Looks like they're gonna go back to being irrelevant, somewhat. Oh no, they were irrelevant until they got Alex Smith, and then until Jim Harbaugh took over. Didn't do much in San Francisco. They host the Super Bowl. Last year, the Cardinals were the first team ever that hosted the Super Bowl and made the playoffs in the same year. No team had done that. In fact, each year, the team that hosted the Super Bowl would miss the playoffs. And I'm not talking about barely missing it. I'm talking about missing it by a mile. Yeah, the Cowboys went 6-10 when they hosted the Saints. If I remember correctly, went 7. Yeah, they went 7-9. It's kind of a curse to host the Super Bowl. Sorry, San Francisco, you're hosting it this year. It's a great honor for the city though to host the Super Bowl, but at the same time, for the team, it's not good. The outlook is not good for the 49ers. I think the Seahawks will win 12 or 13 games. I think the biggest question for the Seahawks is, can they get home field advantage this year? Each time they've gone to the Super Bowl, they've had home field advantage in the NFC playoffs. Look at the last 2 times they've gone to the Super Bowl, they were the number 1 seed. And that's a testament to their fans. That's something for their fans to be proud of. To me, I don't think they'll get the 1 seed. I think that's going to go to the Green Bay Packers. I think the Packers are going to right that wrong this year. And I'll have Super Bowl predictions after I wrapped up all these division predictions. I'll have playoff predictions and wild card and all that other stuff. Of course, my preseason predictions are always different than my postseason predictions are always different than my preseason predictions because I always like to see how the year plays out. They're just I don't put them in permanent ink. I go, oh, let's say for the Seahawks, I've got them as a 2 seed. I have the Seahawks. I have the Seahawks in the top 3. They're gonna win that division. I think if they not got Jimmy Graham, that saved their butts. It really did. I think Graham is the difference maker for them. I think if they are healthy defensively, they're gonna be right up there. I just don't know if I think it might take a couple of weeks, maybe longer. I'm not a doctor, so I don't want to say anything about the Seahawks' defensive health issues. I just know that they're major, and Cam Chancellor holding out, that's not a great idea. Jimmy Graham held out last year and had a terrible season. So I wouldn't hold out. It's not good for football players. I think it's a bad idea anyways because you're missing so much camp, you're missing so much practice. Let your agent do their job and get you your money. But again, who am I to tell you what to tell professional football players what to do? But going back to us, I have preseason predictions. Preseason is just preseason. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen when the games start. And for all I care, the Cardinals could win this division. I just think when I look at the teams, from based on what they did in the offseason, the Cardinals really didn't do much. They got Dick LeBeau, but how much coaching does he have left? And Carson Palmer, how much does he have left? You've got so many question marks. There's a lot of question marks with the Cardinals. And can their defense be as good as it has been the last couple of years? Another question mark. The Rams, I think the question mark is, can Jeff Fisher get it done? Or is he burnt out? He's done so much weird. He's put this thing together nicely, I'll say. Their defense is a top 10 defense. But I think what was a big problem for Sam Bradford is, he's getting tossed around like a little rag doll because the offensive line is not that good. Oh, well, when he was there, excuse me. And so now Nick Foles was there, and he had an injury, and he had pretty bad injury against Houston because his offensive line failed protection, and that was one play. The Eagles' offensive line was really good last year, and it's a lot better than the Rams, in my opinion. You gotta protect your quarterback. Your quarterback cannot get beaten like a drum. You need to give him plenty of time. You need to give him enough protection so he can make a play. I mean, it's a team game, and to me, I'll just go ahead and say this: I think the offensive line is a little bit more important than the quarterback, just a little bit. You need a quarterback, but if you don't have anybody to protect your quarterback, and he's getting beaten down like a drum, I mean, it's kind of like, and you see a quarterback struggle. I mean, yeah, you could point to the offensive line. Now I know Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl with a pretty average-ish offensive line, and Andrew Luck has done very well with the Colts, but that's very rare. You very rarely see a quarterback light it up when his offensive line is terrible or below average. So the Rams just have to get the Rams have to get good production from their offensive line, and they have to figure out who their running back is. Are they doing a committee? I feel like their defense and I do think they have two really. I mean, if Todd Gurley is healthy, he's a potential star. I don't think I don't want to say he's an every down back because, again, durability is a huge question mark with him. He's coming off a torn ACL. I'd be a little on the shaky. I'd be a little conservative with him. I'd probably do running back by committee. And Trey Mason's a star. Maybe trade him to a team that needs a running back. Because I think, honestly, if you're not going to use him as your number one, he's very capable of being a number one. But again, comes down to their offensive line. This is the Rams and the Seahawks division. Now, I think the question mark for the Cardinals: how will Carson Palmer bounce back? Will they have a good enough? Will they have as good a defense as they have had the last couple of years? And for the Niners, can they just win a game? Because I'll be realistic here. Between the Browns and the 49ers, I'm finding out the question is who's going to have that number one pick. Both, I mean, I said the Browns in my NFC North video had the worst roster in football, and I'm sticking with that. I think the Niners still have some talent. They get Navarro Bowman back. You would think you'd get Alvin Smith back, but he got arrested. Patrick Willis is gone. Trying to think of the other guys. Justin Smith is gone. Your rookie linebacker. I'm already forgetting his name. We've lost. Borland. There we go. Borland's gone. Harbaugh's gone. Gore is gone. It's gonna be a tough year for the Niners. It really is. It's gonna be a really long season. To me, they're the team that's gonna be. I think it's gonna be them or the Browns with the number one pick this year. And I don't think you can go wrong predicting either one of those teams have it, because honestly, they're both terrible on paper, at least. And again, like I said about the preseason predictions, teams look great on paper. Some teams look great. Some teams look good. Some teams look average. Some teams that didn't do much, maybe they do well. You just don't know what's going to happen. But I do know the Niners are not going to be very good. I do know the Browns are not going to be very good either. Those two teams are set in stone as two of the worst teams of this season, though they will be. But the Seahawks, the health, the Legion of Boom, can they stay healthy? And are they going to be healthy come regular season time? And what's the fallout from the whole we didn't run at the goal line? Is Marshawn Lynch committed to the Seahawks? I mean, does he have any hard feelings towards Pete Carroll? I mean, I'm not saying he does. I'm just probably just making stuff up. But at the end of the day, what's the fallout from that? Are they going to be? Again, what's Jimmy Graham's going to give them a whole different dimension on offense. I will say this. I liked Chris Matthews. For them, I think he could be their number one receiver, and I think he should be, because I think out of the receiving core, he's the best. He's the most athletic guy there. Curse and Baldwin are just too slow. They don't beat that man off the line of scrimmage. They don't win one-on-one jump ball matchups. Matthews has Andre Johnson type speed, and I'm talking about deceptive speed. He finds ways to get open, and he can win the one-on-one matchups. So maybe you use him more, and I think Jimmy Graham is just going to make that offense. It's kind of like what Julius Thomas was in Denver, a matchup nightmare. And that's what Jimmy Graham's going to be for Seattle. Do you want to stop Marshawn Lynch, or do you want to stop Jimmy Graham? Do you want to stop the read option with Russell Wilson? Pick your poison. It's not going to be easy. This has been Sam Darley talking about the NFC West training camp and 2015 predictions. Thank you for watching.